we're at.
There you go.
Grace and peace to you. Welcome to Morning Watch. I'm Rob, one of the pastors here at White Plains.
I'm V. Hello.
And we are here to greet you this morning. This is where we gather for a song and a thought for the day. So glad you're with us whenever you're watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing, liking, and all that stuff. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning.
Well, let's begin with this wonderful prayer that we're using for 2026 by Bishop Stephen Charleston. Help me call a blessing down, for I think our poor old world needs it. A blessing of peace, a blessing of the ordinary, a blessing of national life without chaos, and personal life without fear. Help me pray a healing down, for I know how much we need it. A strengthening of the bonds between us, simple respect and patient listening, a new beginning for us all. Help me welcome the sacred down, the wide-winged spirit, drawn from every corner of heaven, to walk among us once more, to show us how it can be, when justice is the path, and love the destination. I'm in and I'm in. I don't know about y'all, but I printed that one out. Good morning, Kenna. And good morning to you whenever you're watching. Thanks for being here. All right, so for our song this morning, I thought we'd do a song that fit with this book that we're using by Stephen Charleston called Ladder to the Light. And there's a story behind this. It's a old youth group song called Prince of Peace. And way back in 2001, when the 9/11 attacks happened, before you were born.
Yeah, they happened like
a couple months.
Yeah.
September, October, November. Yeah.
Yeah.
So less than 2 months before V was born. Well, one of the effects of that time was that there was quite an interest because of the backlash to the Muslim community. There was a lot of interest in interfaith dialogue and in people of moderate faith coming together and agreeing that while certainly these were evil attacks, that they did not mean that anyone who professed the Muslim faith was evil or something like that. And so there were a lot of interfaith worship services and things like that. Well,
don't use them as an excuse to be racist, essentially.
Right. So we White Plains Youth Group praise team went to a couple of these, and this was one of the songs that we did, and it was actually requested by some of the leaders, a rabbi and an imam, who were organizing some of these interfaith dialogues. And one of the reasons why it was requested was because of the many names for God that are in here. Can you see it? Okay. Over here.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Sorry.
Prince of Peace. Yeah.
Sorry. Just so your guitar is.
You are holy.
You are holy. What?
You are mighty. There you go. You are worthy. Worthy of praise. And I will follow. I will listen. I will love you. All my days. And I will sing to and worship the King who is worthy. I will love and adore him. I will bow down before him. I will sing to and worship the King who is worthy. I will love and adore him. I will bow down before him. You're my Prince of Peace, and I will live my life for you. You are holy. You are mighty. You are worthy. Worthy of praise. And I will follow. I will listen. I will love you all of my days. And I will sing to and worship the King who is worthy. I will love and adore him. I will bow down before him. I will sing to and worship you, Lord. You are worthy. I will love and adore him. I will bow down before him. You're my Prince of Peace, and I will live my life for you. And I will sing and worship our King who is worthy. I will love and adore him. I will bow down before him. I will sing to and worship you, Lord. You are worthy. I will love him, adore him. I will bow down before him. You're my Prince of Peace. You're my Prince of Peace, and I will live my life. You're my Prince of Peace, and I will live my life for you. There you go.
Yeah. What do you mean? There you go.
Nothing.
You said that.
I say that a lot after a song. There you go.
Yeah, but the way that you said it, you sounded like, oh, there you go.
Oh, like you got it this time?
Yeah.
I don't know. That would be me. With all the chords. Good morning, Jeanette. Good morning, Terry. Good morning, Emma.
Hello.
All right. So here we go. This is our book for 2026, at least for the beginning here.
Backwards a little.
Ladder to the Light.
Backwards. So no.
How's that?
That's worse.
How's that?
I was trying to help.
I know. I appreciate it. So, as I mentioned yesterday, this is a book by Stephen Charleston. Stephen Charleston is an indigenous storyteller of the Choctaw Nation. He is the former Episcopal Bishop of Alaska. So quite an interesting background and collection of influences. And this introduction is going to tell sort of how he came into the public eye, from being an from being all of those things to being a published author. because he's written about 9 books, and really a lot of it came from his daily Facebook meditations. So he began telling this story, the sacred story, his ancestors' story, but also his Christian story, in a different way, as a response to what he saw in the world as a lack of hope, a lack of courage, a sense of desperation. And he tells a story about going and speaking in a parish hall in a church in New England, speaking to an audience of largely professional people with comfortable incomes. They were well-educated, well-read, and alert to the news of the day. By all of society's measuring sticks, they should have been among the best and brightest, most optimistic, the bedrock of an enlightened spiritual community. They should have been confident, but they were not. In fact, they were just the opposite. They were worried. The depth and nature of their worry was revealed in how they responded when I asked them to name one institution, one public system in our culture in which they still had complete confidence. Our educational system? The room was silent. Our political system? Silence. Our judicial system? Silence. Healthcare? Silence. How about religious institutions? Surely we can find confidence there. More silence. As we looked at each other in the silence, we understood something profound, that we are a generation that no longer believes things work. We no longer take it for granted that any of the social systems on which we depend to sustain a healthy community can continue to do so. And in this darkness, we are beset by questions that make us uncertain. Can we live together in peace if we disagree? Can we accept the idea that change and tradition are not mutually exclusive? Can we realize that diversity is an innate human characteristic? Can we understand that our ecosystem is a survival pod with limited range and resources? Can we learn that having more for the few is not as important as having enough for the many? The questions became a world of shadows and fears. He believes that the people of this New England church were not alone in their doubts. Any reasonable look at American culture today could verify a pervasive unease about the path our society is taking. It does not matter whether we label ourselves conservative or progressive. The reality we share means many of us are losing confidence. We are worried. The ground seems to be shifting beneath our feet. We no longer rely on the institutions we once felt were our firm foundation. We are afraid, and we are looking for a way out of the darkness and into the light. Hence the book, Ladder to the Light. Using the metaphor of the kiva that I talked about yesterday, the indigenous American worship space where you descend through the hole into the ground and then come back up the ladder into the light. He is writing down visions, spiritual visions that he's had. And he uses, one of the reasons why we did Prince of Peace is he uses the language of spirit. Now, to a Christian, that might mean the Holy Spirit, but to him and his Native American tradition, it means the Great Spirit, right? Or God. So he was told as a child, as a 4-year-old, he says, I would sit with my great-grandfather beneath the star-filled sky as he told me the stories of my ancestors and stories from the Bible. And when I asked why he was telling me these stories, he said, because one day you are going to be a spirit guide. Peleki Salambish is how it reads in his language, Choctaw language. You need to know how things really work so you can help others find their way. So for more than 70 years, he's been writing and telling others about these visions of peace, of calm, ancient stories that give us grounding so that we can emerge to the light. He says, I've been a guide along the spirit paths my ancestors first discovered so long ago. Then about a decade ago, he says, I began receiving the sacred story in a different way I could never have imagined nor predicted when I was a little boy. He discovered this path by accident, and it began in an unlikely exchange between my ancient tradition and one of the most common technologies of our current reality, which is social media. Some people who knew me wanted me to join them on Facebook. I did not want to be on social media. They persisted, saying I needed to catch up to the rest of the world in technology. Finally, I relented, but after I'd been cajoled into it, I had no idea what to post. By nature, I am an introvert. I am not good at making small talk. Can you tell why I was drawn to this? I'm shocked every day that I get on and do this. Anyway, never mind. If you're at all familiar with Facebook, you will understand when I say I have no pictures of cats to share. Well, we do have pictures of cats, but we don't often share them on Facebook. Once I had created my account, I stared at the blank screen, wondering what to write. I did not think my life was interesting, so I decided to simply write down whatever came into my mind each morning after my prayers. Day after day, morning after morning, I say my prayers, outside if weather permits, in a traditional Native American way. I start by acknowledging the 4 sacred directions that encompass my life in the holy geometry of creation. And then I acknowledge the earth beneath me and the sky above me. Finally, I speak to the Spirit in humility and remain silent to hear what reply comes into my heart. It is these replies, these brief messages from the Spirit, that I decided to share on Facebook. For over 10 years, I have been posting them. At first, only a handful of people noticed. Now thousands of people read them daily, and this still amazes me. I would never have thought of connecting Native American tradition to Facebook, but it has happened. Because while I am the writer of these words, I am not necessarily their author. I believe that God inspires what I write, not because the language is so eloquent or the meaning so profound, but because the words seem to help people from different ways of life. Perhaps they will help you too. Perhaps that is why you've picked up this book. Okay, so that's his story, his history. And the book is arranged as a series of rungs on a ladder coming out of darkness into light. The rung of faith, blessing, hope, community, action, truth, renewal, and transformation. So we'll hear readings from each of those. And I wanted to give you an example today of one of the readings here from the introduction. The format of the book is that his Facebook posts are written in italics.
Back up.
Yeah, there you go.
Back.
Well, I'm trying not to get the glare on it.
There you go.
But you can see how it's written in italics. And then he'll offer a commentary on it. He writes, I am only a guide pointing the way to the ladder. My task is articulated by the first message that I chose from my year-long collection of prayer responses from the Spirit. When I first began praying about this book, I turned to this message, an offering of peace. I have achieved few things in my life worth noting, but one thing I have achieved is important, not because of what it reflects about me, but because of what it may offer to you. I am a person at peace within myself, at peace with the world around me. All my other faults are intact and fully apparent, but deep in my spirit's core, I am a calm soul. What does that mean? According to the ancient tradition, it means I have something that I can share. The peace that I feel is not something I am to keep, but to give away. Please receive the one true thing of value that I can give, this offering of peace for your life. So you can see why I was drawn to that, and I hope you will be as well. I look forward to going through this in the days to come. And as I say every day, may you find peace and purpose in your life. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing and coming along for the ride. You good?
Yeah. What?
Nothing.
I'm good.
Just if you had anything to offer, or we're interested by Bishop Charleston. He's an interesting guy.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for being here. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for another morning watch when we will dive in to the ladder of faith, the rung of faith. All right. Talk to you soon. Take care. Thanks, Kenna.